Have you ever felt like you're just going through the motions? Like you're watching your life from behind a glass wall, but you can't quite feel it? It's not sadness, it's not anger, it's just nothing. This feeling, this void, is often called emotional numbness. It's a strange and often unsettling experience, and if you've ever felt it, you're definitely not alone. So, what exactly is happening in our minds when we feel this way? Emotional numbness isn't an emotion itself. It's the absence of emotion. Think of it as your brain's protective mechanism, a psychological circuit breaker. When life throws too much at us, overwhelming stress, trauma, or prolonged anxiety, our emotional system can get overloaded. To prevent a complete shutdown, it sometimes dims the lights on our feelings. It's a survival strategy. This process is deeply rooted in our neurobiology. The parts of our brain responsible for processing emotions, like the amygdala and the prefrontal cortex, can become less active. It's as if the volume knob on your feelings has been turned all the way down. You know you should feel happy at a party or sad at a loss, but the signal just isn't getting through. You might find yourself intellectually understanding a situation but being completely detached from the emotional experience of it. There are many triggers for this state. It can be a response to a single traumatic event, like an accident or the loss of a loved one. The shock can be so intense that the mind disconnects from the pain to allow you to function. It's a short-term coping tool. However, emotional numbness can also develop gradually over time due to chronic stress. Think about long-term work pressure, a difficult relationship, or constant worry. Day after day, your system is on high alert, and eventually, to conserve energy and protect itself from burnout, it starts to numb out. Certain mental health conditions are also closely linked to emotional numbness. It's a common symptom of depression, where it contributes to that feeling of emptiness and an inability to find pleasure in things you once enjoyed, a state known as anhedonia. It's also frequently seen in post-traumatic stress disorder, or PTSD, where it serves as a way to avoid reliving painful memories and the intense emotions tied to them. Even some anxiety disorders can lead to this, as the constant state of fear and worry can be so exhausting that the emotional system just checks out. So how does this numbness manifest in daily life? It can be subtle. You might notice that you're not laughing as much at jokes, or that music doesn't move you the way it used to. You might feel disconnected from friends and family, like you're an actor playing a part in your own life. This can be confusing and isolating because on the outside you might seem perfectly fine. You're still going to work, meeting deadlines, and having conversations, but inside there's a profound sense of emptiness. Making decisions can also become incredibly difficult because if you can't feel what you want, how can you choose a path? It's important to understand that emotional numbness is not a sign of weakness or a character flaw. It's a sign that you've been through too much. It's your body and mind's way of saying, I need a break. This is more than I can handle right now. It's a defense mechanism, but the problem is it's not a selective one. When it numbs the pain, it also numbs the joy, the connection, and the vibrancy of life. You can't just turn off the bad feelings without also dampening the good ones. So what can we do if we find ourselves in this state? The first step is simply recognition, acknowledging that what you're experiencing is emotional numbness and that it's a real psychological response can be incredibly validating. It's not just in your head, it's a sign that your system is overwhelmed. From there, the goal is not to force yourself to feel, but to gently and safely create the conditions for your feelings to return. This often starts with the body. Since the mind has disconnected, reconnecting with your physical self can be a powerful gateway back to your emotions. This doesn't mean intense exercise. It can be as simple as paying attention to your breath for a few minutes. Feel the air coming in and going out. Try grounding techniques. Notice the feeling of your feet on the floor, the texture of the chair you're sitting in, or the temperature of the water on your hands when you wash them. These simple sensory experiences can help pull you out of your head and back into the present moment. Mindfulness practices are built around this principle. They teach us to observe our thoughts and feelings without judgment. Instead of being swept away by them or shutting them down, you learn to just notice them. Ah, there's a feeling of sadness, or there's a thought about work. This creates a little bit of space, making the emotions feel less overwhelming and safer to approach. Another key is to reintroduce small, manageable sources of positive experience. Don't aim to feel ecstatic overnight. Maybe it's listening to a song you used to love, not to force a feeling, but just to listen. Maybe it's spending a few minutes in nature, noticing the details of a leaf or the sound of birds. The goal is to gently reawaken your senses without putting pressure on yourself to feel a certain way. However, it's crucial to say that if emotional numbness is persistent, deep, or related to trauma or a mental health condition like depression, trying to handle it alone can be very difficult and sometimes isn't enough. Reaching out to a mental health professional like a therapist or counselor is a sign of strength. They can provide a safe space to explore the root causes of the numbness and guide you through evidence-based therapies designed to help you reconnect with your emotions in a healthy, supported way. They can help you process underlying trauma or manage depression, treating the cause rather than just the symptom. Remember, recovery from emotional numbness is a gradual process of thawing out. There will be good days and bad days. Some feelings that return might be uncomfortable, like anger or grief, but that's a sign that the system is coming back online. All emotions, even the difficult ones, are a vital part of the human experience. They are signals that tell us what we need, what we value, and what is important to us. Emotional numbness is a protective shield, but we're not meant to live behind it forever. Understanding why it happens is the first step toward gently lowering that shield and beginning to feel the full spectrum of life again. If this resonated with you, you're not on this journey alone. Thanks for watching. If you found this helpful, consider subscribing for more content. Take care.